with the sound off, and we just write it as Steve and Mike react to the NFL game this week.
Right.
And it's just critical commentary
on NFL. But
would that fall under? We just found out that court case got proven. You can do reaction videos. It's legal, baby.
Well, yeah, because people react to sports clips, bro. There's this one dude,
bloopers and shit.
There's one guy. He makes videos, and he's always like, he's like American guy reacts to awesome soccer clips or something.
What about the Aussie guy? That Aussie guy that just does videos on there, and then he redoes his own voice over it.
That's
you know what I'm talking about? Where that guy's like, "Oh my god, a fucking goal!" Like he says shit like that.
That's weird as fuck.
He's like, "You never heard one of them? I know you have." I know you.
That's super weird.
Yeah. I know you heard one of them before. You just don't know. Probably what I'm talking about. You have to rewatch it, but it's just like him, like going over the worst shit, pretty much, like the worst bloopers.
I got you. Yeah. I forgot the other guy's name, but he does the same shit. He'll be like, American guy reacts to, soccer bloopers, or American guy reacts. He always plugs that American guy in there, but, it reacts to, Messi's best plays or whatever. So,
because that draws you in, just like when they say, like, professional singer reacts to Adele's video or something. You're like, well, I do want to see what a professional singer said.
That we would, what was I about to say? With something like that, focus on trying to share that.
Listen, either way, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the shares. Constantly appreciate it. Another Friday Furcast. We really didn't put much effort into finding a guest today. I actually didn't even think about it too much. I just figured me and Steve would kill another one and we rip it out. Maybe this weekend hit it up with something different if we can fit somebody in here.
Yeah, we'll get somebody over. We'll also work on that fourth mic, get that hooked up.
That fourth mic could be here. We got Dave be here Sunday.
We got some improvements, in mind that we're looking to make.
Yeah, we got some soundproofing equipment out here.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have showed you that.
oh yeah, I forgot about that,
bro. I got that too,
dog. So we're getting shit together.
We're making moves here. We're making moves, people.
So just keep tuning in. You're gonna slowly see us get with it.
On a separate note. Oh man, Daryl's all over. He's messing up pixels up.
I usually get the light touch.
On a side note, Elon came out with a video yesterday. Elon, I'm not gonna stick shit in my brain unless I am paralyzed, and that's the only route I could see you taking. We know that that's just your first route, so you can open it up and try to get the people. But I'm not putting nothing in my brain, Elon. I'm not. I don't even like carrying a phone. I couldn't imagine having to carry it in your brain. You can just see the impending doom. I don't like anything. That's not a future to me. That's not futuristic to me. When we talk about that's barbaric to me, right? Because even if that was future, even if that did work, there should be a less drastic way than stick something in your fucking brain.
They had straight up that South Park episode where they were making fun of that shit, but that was way before anything like that was even thought of being possible or being worked on. At least I know. That one Twitter substitute where it was like Alec Baldwin had it in his head with Cartman, and they were just like thinking shit, and it would upload to the cloud.
Oh yeah. And
then it would be played to your other followers who are ever on the platform, but it's just those two. That shit, yes. I mean, it's kind of like along like the lines of like the same thing. But I do like the applications for disabled people, people with like MS and paraplegics. Exactly. I mean, I could see. I don't know if it could like help everybody, but I mean, I feel like with those, definitely those, definitely not the paraplegics and MS and all those types of diseases. It could definitely help them. We do take care of day-to-day life.
Listen, I'm sure there could be an application. What if we heard that, like, what if Elon was straight up like, look, I got something that'll go in these people's brains and fucking stop a violent person from being violent, stop a rapist from raping. Now that's next level shit right there. Can you gene edit things like that out?
When the fuck children? I don't know.
You know what I mean?
But then it's like, if you want to fuck children, is your son or daughter more likely to want to fuck children? I mean, if it's in your genes, then you pass that on.
Yeah, you're well. Either way, you're real fucked up. But you're a real what's going on in your mind if you did like that? But you're like, I ain't gonna do it to my children. So then it's also horrible, is what you're saying. You're also admitting to the horrible nature of it, and establishing that you are a predator to your own children.
It's odd definitely an odd one. But like with people like that, if it is able to solve it, let's say not everyone wants to be cured in that way. Do you make it, like a requirement? Let's say like, oh, you don't get the work, unless you get this implant and it fixes your impulses, or you don't get to enroll in school until you fix these impulses with an implant. Like vaccines are pushed, like, oh, you have anger problems as a child, like, oh, you can't get into this middle or high school without this implant, boy.
This randomly, I don't even want to go down the line of how I got here, but on the side note, like China is cracking down on MMA, and now they just made it against the law to have tattoos if you fight MMA in China.
Against the law to have tattoos if you fight MMA.
So UFC has a Chinese card coming up, with plenty of people
Weird
have tattoos. And One FC
Weird.
has plenty of people that have
I'm about to look that
tattoos. So I'm not sure.
I'm about to dig into that one. Because China just keeps going fucking crazy. But I mean, like, again, like, is something like that necessary for the amount of people you have to,
What's that got to do with anything, dude?
With the system that they're running, like we always talk about how like America has too many people. How can you govern that many people? Let alone governing 2 billion people.
What do you govern, bro? What do you govern? People's tattoos?
Yeah, but just like cracking down on any type of like shit like that. Like why else would they want to do something like that unless like they just want to eradicate something like that? And let's just say they just want to push martial arts for like discipline or along those lines, rather than like trying to have people fighting out here and shit with each other. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get where I'm going with that.
They're still allowing them to fight though. They're just saying they don't want tattoos.
But
so it's just like
I don't think they can make that jump. So what do? You hit people who have tattoos. Like, I would say majority of the fighters that fight in that competition would then immediately be disqualified from competing.
You got no fighters.
So exactly. So you're not directly taking on fighting itself, but you're hitting them where it hurts, and you're making an impact to where hopefully they just shut down rather than you shut them down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess so.
You hit them. You pretty much like putting sanctions on a country. You're just kind of like limiting their ability to grow and make money.
You don't want to do it. That's probably why.
Exactly.
So
it's not profitable for you.
Right.
It's not profitable.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Because of course, I don't think they can get away with doing huge steps like being like, oh, no MMA. I feel like you'd probably have some financial pushback or even some type of citizen pushback, but
we'll see what happens with this Chinese card.
Yeah. I feel like they're gonna have to pull out unless it doesn't,
or they just say
particularly
it was already scheduled for now on. There won't be any of it.
Yeah, there might be a point in time where it goes into law, like right after that card goes into law.
Leon Edwards versus Dos Anjos tomorrow. Main event 5 round. That man Leon is definitely a killer, but I do not like that guy for some reason, man. I just do not like it. He's just a weird dude. And
there's a lot of cards on. There's like a card on every weekend.
Oh yeah, there's a card every weekend.
Is that like the summer thing? Because they
don't
seem to do as much. Yeah,
it's gonna be that for now on.
That's how they're pushing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I get these shitty cards.
Yeah, I got you.
But there's 2 good fights I like this week. There's that Leon Edwards and Dos Anjos, which Leon's never actually very exciting, but I would love to see Dos Anjos just shut this dude up, just end all that goddamn talk and make me some money on DraftKings. But other than that, on a quick overview, I like James Vick versus Dan Hooker, man. I think that's going to be real violent. Yeah. James Vick, man, he's a real tall guy. Cuts down, I believe it's 155 they're at. And, 155. And don't know how to use his reach, man.
Got you.
He's one of them tall guys that, like, his defense is to go like this. It's like they call it tall man defense, where you're so tall that your natural reaction is to just go like this.
And lean back.
And most of the time, people can't hit you from there.
Right.
But every once in a while, somebody gets you against that cage, bum rush you lean back, you get caught, you get knocked out. So he's coming off a nice little knockout.
So it's like a bad habit.
Paul Felder beat him up. Yeah, and you keep hoping he can change it. But
that's definitely something with tall.
Dan Hooker, I don't know if you've seen that, but it kind of was a viral thing on his last fight. He fought Barboza, and Barboza just fucked him up, and he was like barely moving, and he's throwing punches, like barely throwing a punch, and Barboza drops him. I showed you the video. You might not.
I think I remember it.
Like one of them fights where this guy showed he could take an extreme amount of damage. That's for sure, bro.
What
I've never seen somebody eat that many sidekicks.
what card coming up this summer are you most excited for?
Well, the ones they're gonna stack. As
Yeah,
bad as
I
it
got
sounds,
you. Yeah,
it's better to say what fight, but
right. Well, have that card. Which fight besides, of course, the main event?
that fight I just said, the James Vick Dan
Okay,
Hooker.
so that's it. Okay, I got you.
And
I
then
thought that was the one tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I got you. Well, I was just saying, the one that stacked. I mean, like the main event was in August.
Gotcha.
Stipe DC.
Yeah,
DC, yeah.
And then you got Romero versus Paulo Costa. That's the fight I'm most excited for. Yoel Romero.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
He's basically fighting the young Yoel Romero.
Yo, that dude's a fucking tank. What the hell? It's
Wait
like,
till you see this other guy, bro. It's literally the two genetic freaks of the UFC.
Yeah, I'll tell you what really trips me out. I was walking down the street the other day, and there was like a 4'10" woman, and she's walking next to a woman who's 6'5", 6'4". She was taller than me. I mean, she was easily like 3-4 inches taller than me. I'm just like the variation in humans is so fucking astounding. Just like, man, just fucking same thing with like dudes where it's like no matter how hard I try, I could never put on the or wear the way that he's wears.
Yeah, you'll never be a left tackle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Come on, so I'll be running back, and I'll go against that guy on the line.
There's definitely something about where you're from that helps you, and something about them goddamn Russians. They just know how to wrestle.
Yeah,
they know how to wrestle. But I hear that Khabib's knees, hurt all the time. That's why he wants to retire. He's kind of like he's already put that so much wear on his body. You're wrestling since you were 4.
And he has so much money. His money, I'm sure, is enough to just chill back on.
Well, he got that hefty fine, remember? When he hopped over.
Yeah.
The guy, that was a $500,000 fine.
Yeah.
People forget about the fine. That was the worst part for him. Probably could have said he'd been like, suspend me for 5 years. I don't want to get fined. Maybe not, because then he could make more money. So that makes sense. But
yeah, he could definitely easily fight again. But
I want to lose $500,000 no matter what.
I mean, he'll definitely come back fight again. He's just gonna stack some money. And
that should be a tax write-off.
What?
If you pay a big ass fine like that, you should be like write it off. If it's for something like that.
Well, it's like you pay the government to then write it off from the government.
What I'm saying is, it just seems like it would be. That'd be a thing.
For me, it's like, well, I would never want to make fines like deductible.
It seems like it'd be like just a rich person thing, like, oh yeah, just pay that fine, I write it off.
Yeah.
Or maybe they have like insurance on their self, right? And they take it out and they get reinsured, like how players do nowadays.
It's like something might not be covered. It's like, bro, you jumped the cage and you jumped into the crowd.
You're just like, you knew what you were getting into when you fucking signed on that dot. I'm fucking.
It says right here, if you jump the fucking gate and you jump into the crowd, your insurance is null and void. This is you, buddy.
Like literally, think about Harvey Weinstein, right?
Who wants to pay $500,000?
Clauses in the contract, for sexual assault. Clauses in Eric Weinstein's contract. It was $250,000 the first sexual allegation, $500,000 the second allegation.
Wow!
In his contract in Hollywood, it's crazy. They said he didn't give a fuck about that. He's a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. He's made so, and
type of fine.
And he's still making money. It's like when people like that make and you get money like that. At one point, the money sitting in your bank is just making money.
Yeah,
and just making money.
And you got it so many places.
Money. Exactly. You're if you are good with your money in any fashion with that much money, you're always going to be making a fuck ton of money.
It's crazy. It's like the same thing with them prescription drugs, those faulty hips, all that shit. They just put it out. If they find out that it was faulty, they get the maximum fine, which is like $10 million, and they make $100 million.
Yeah.
And they made $90 million profit for something that didn't work.
Even if they got hit for like $300 million, it's like, well, they made $10 billion, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you made a profit.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
So they made like 10 billion profit. It's like you charge them 300.
Like if somebody is like doing something to the earth, right? Like you're not supposed to dump like nuclear waste, right? And somebody's dumping nuclear waste in the ocean, bro. Why is that should be on par with like death penalty?
Yeah, I mean it's like you're dumping.
That's what I'm saying when like people don't fear the consequences in this world. Like we punish certain things so hard, that are stupid, and then things that really fucking matter,
Yeah, like
we don't fucking worry about it at all. Like if you did do that, it'd be like, all right, you got to pay a $2 million fine and you're on a 600-day probation.
I'm saying, like especially for like say you get like an oil spill. It's like I'm not even sure how much they paid in fines for shit like that.
Oh my god!
But it's not enough.
Honestly, when you ask, if somebody was to ask me right now, like, what's the most heartbreaking thing you've ever seen? It's that oil spill. It really is, bro. And like my way, like I can desensitize from people. I love everyone and I feel everything. And I can cry all day long for us, but like I can always understand that like there was before us, there's going to be after us.
Yeah.
I always have that in my mind. And I remember, seeing just that oil come flowing up to the top, just miles
that
of
video,
oil,
that
bro.
video where it's like,
and you just look at that and you're like, that no matter what you can do, that's gonna affect my great grandchildren.
Yeah, the Gulf is still seeing, I think the Mississippi too is still seeing shit.
I like when Vice News got out there and they really did those facts on it, and the guy was like honest, and he's like, best case scenario, he's like, we never get all the oil. He's like, best case scenario, we can recover 50. That's best case scenario.
Yeah, and it's simply because I believe they can just refine it and use it.
Yeah, well, they're just you ever see how they do it? It's basically they just skim it off the top. There's no device or nothing like that. It's just a bunch of boats skimming the oil, filtering it, and that's it. It's the slowest process of all time.
Yeah, I think it's like the oil has like settled on like the bottom of the ocean and shit or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
it's the word.
It's disgusting.
Crazy, listen, the thing is like, I'm president, right? And like, let's say the first time ever, right? Somebody comes to you, they're like, listen, we got, however it was, like, it probably didn't happen like this, but let's say the first time, like, we started radaring oil underwater, right?
Right.
And the first person comes to you and they're like, yeah, they're like, look, we've got this radar technology now. We've went down and, bro, we got nothing popping here.
What are you talking about?
I don't like to look
Nothing
at that.
over there? No, because we heard it. Oh, shit. It looks like it did freeze. Good catch.
Oh, no, OBS.
Oh, no, it's going. It's going. No, we're good. No, it's going. We're good.
Wow, down there.
Yeah,
huh?
it's going.
It's been good to us. I don't know why I was so scared.
Yeah, it was weird because that bar wasn't popping
That was
either.
terrifying, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm a heart
was
sunk for a
terrifying.
second.
All right,
sunk for a second.
back on track.
Yeah.
Sorry, people.
Yeah. That oil spill
The
shit.
BP oil spill, right? So the first person comes to you and they're like, oh, bro, we got this great radar, right? And we found this big-ass pile of oil. And you're like, okay. Because we've been drilling on land. We've been finding spots and shit. You're like, okay. And next thing you know, they're like, where's it at? He's like, oh, it's 60 feet underwater.
Yeah.
Who the fuck after that listened to that and was like, let's go for it. Let's go for it, guys. Like, there's still other oil, dude. There's still other oil in land.
Yeah.
Why did we why didn't we start digging in the water?
You got some of the biggest reserves. Yeah.
I know, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, at least tap this shit out before we start going on some crazy underwater shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nothing was worse than that BP oil spill that I know of. That was the worst ever.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I think it was the worst recorded.
So, like, and you hear every day, like, Keystone Pipeline's leaking. It don't do a quarter of the damage that BP did.
Right, exactly.
That's just some crazy. You're underwater drilling earth, dude.
And it's immediately spilling into water,
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right away. No matter what. Just, oh my God, bro. You just take that empathetic, telepathic fucking drop there right now. You're 60 feet underwater. Your feet are on the bottom, and you're just watching them like they hit that fucking oil. It jacks up out of there, and they're trying to like put pipe in there, and the fucking earth, dude. What is wrong with you guys, bro? Like, out your root canal in earth. What the fuck are we doing, dude?
Yeah.
You don't mess with Earth's fucking sinuses. You don't fucking go there, dude. That's so crazy, bro. I can't believe we just started digging underwater and shit, yo. That's like, they're just going to come one day, like 100 years from now, they're going to be like, we found the biggest oil reserve ever. It's inside of a volcano.
Well, I mean,
and the fucking president's going to be like, how big is it?
Well, I mean, like, we could, realistically do something like that. But like, when it comes to, having, different countries want different types of things, you got to produce your own oil as a country. So, I mean, like, of course, we're going to move to the fucking ocean to drill it. Because we're not always gonna be able to rely on oil.
We gotta make an agreement.
The Middle East or Venezuela or so on, wherever.
The funny thing is, number one oil importer to America is Canada.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. That's interesting. But that also makes sense up there
It's
because
so
they have
close.
yeah, exactly.
Did you see the shit that they're doing, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, they got some sketchy shit going on.
Yeah,
Canada, Canada, I love you, bro.
They got those pipelines that wants to come all the way down from Canada. I think it goes all the way down to like Florida and shit.
They're doing some weird shit. I was just getting some basic info on this, but from the cast, a little research I haven't did enough.
Tradu, you little bitch.
They're doing some weird shit with their oil drilling. They're doing something that's funky. I can't exactly describe it.
They're well, from what I understand, they're moving farther north because the country has a right to 200 nautical miles from within their shores. That's their waters. You know, they can do with what they will. So
is that every country?
Yeah,
oh.
Yeah. And that's why the disputes in the South China Sea because
everybody has 200 nautical miles.
Exactly, and that's what people are fighting over. Exactly, but anyway, with Canada, they have that huge landmass that goes all the way up to the fucking Arctic. And since the ice caps have been receding further and further,
land?
They have not necessarily more land, but the access to those resources where the ice is covering it.
So it's open now.
Exactly. So I mean, they're just going up there.
What is a nautical mile?
I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know.
People probably call me dumb for that, but I'm not a voter.
I don't know what it is, but the only way that I imagine it is like when we play pub and there's those squares.
Yeah.
It's like the part where a square meets to the other part where a square meets.
I looked at it one time, but it's one of those things that don't exactly stick in your head. Like, nautical mile. I was like,
10 nautical miles.
Let me see, nautical mile.
Oh my God.
I just want to know.
Put yourself on nautical the fucking mile, Titanic right now.
Equal to approximately 2,025 yards, 1,852 meters.
2,000.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
200 football fields there?
I wonder what it's based off. So
it's about 200 football fields.
Huh. I wonder why that's exactly the measurement for a nautical mile.
Because you have to do it by square. You have to do it by square, bro. That's what it is.
Probably like something easy to work with. So like with the curvature of the curvature of the earth
that way,
yeah, the
and then go like this.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You
can't do that because then you would have 100,000 nautical miles. You
yeah,
know?
Exactly.
So they probably have it to where it's like a square of water is a nautical mile. That's probably what it is, and it's divided up square.
Yeah. So with that, also like another big thing they're doing moving up into the Arctic is because if those ices continue to recede, they have a new trade route that pretty much backdoors going all the way around like South America and shit, or through the canal, or Panama Canal. So they would just be able to go up over and just come down to like California, and
they're like, we wanted a little warmer up here.
Yeah, exactly. So
there were blow dryers.
I think this year, the last year,
hairspray in the sky.
The first cargo ship made its voyage through those lands, and Canada was like, the fuck?
Well, I mean, when you look at Alaska, Russia, with Alaska and Antarctica,
they're doing the same thing.
Bro, those nuclear reactor icebreakers.
Yeah.
Russia is always on some villain movie.
And did you see
they're
those?
Always a Batman villain.
You see those big ass vehicles with the land to sea tires? Like they're just big as shit, and they go through the ice and it's boom, and they can just go through the water
the fuck
and come back up on the ice and shit.
They're
like
building some.
Yeah. People are trying to abuse that law. To have the nautical miles from your shore. Like with Russia and the Arctic, they have pretty much just like an island. It's like so close to like the Netherlands or some shit, and they just claim it so they can try and use that shit. It's just that's gonna be the next fight, the fight for the Arctic. Yeah, that's gonna be the next big thing. Apparently, there's a huge oil reserve right on top.
It's a war that
oil.
If there's a war, America can't help but find a way.
Yeah.
To get into it.
Yeah.
They always find a way.
They're just gonna help Canada do it and be like, Canada, we want some of that sweet, sweet Arctic oil.
And you go against.
We'll come up there.
Yeah, we'll help you with Russia.
We'll bring submarines, ships.
We
got your back, Canada. Dude. We love maple syrup.
I guess mainly it's with me is like anything where they just are like, we're gonna start building shit for the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I would have been real hesitant.
Yeah.
Of course you build a boat. You got to build a boat to live in advance.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you guys start building submarines and shit, you're like, we got shit that can shoot.
Go underwater.
We got shit that can go 100 feet underwater and shoot a nuke.
Yeah. Yeah, it can just pop up, boom, and it's gone.
And you think you're down there and there's just like,
fuck?
And then right underneath of that submarine is like some wires that are 100,000 miles long that connect people's internets.
I'm sitting there, I'm operating this submarine, and I'm like, we got a fucking nuke on board.
Oh my, yeah, exactly.
We have a nuke on board.
I don't even want a whale to hit us hard, dude.
We have 10 nukes on board.
What if a whale's just like, and everybody's just like, Then everybody hears a nuke's like.
You hear like the missiles clanging. Ding, ding, ding. But I mean, that shit is crazy. And then like you also build a ship where you can launch planes from. Like you just got it. Like what the fuck? It just slingshots planes off the deck.
It's so weird.
What the fuck?
It's so weird with that.
Yeah.
Like we brought planes out onto the water and we made
a runway. We can
land.
Like what do they have? Like 30 jets and like 5 Apache Blackhawks on board at all times.
It's so weird. Does it really take that long to get places in a jet? Like how much time?
I think it's the fuel.
Oh yeah.
And
you're right.
I think some of those like I don't know. I feel like they burn
That's
fuel
crazy.
a lot,
Like how much? I want to see. Like I like watching things. Like hourglass style. I would love just to see their oil. I mean their gas, and just see as they're flying. 400, 500 miles an hour, how fast it goes down.
That's
like. Is it just like a constant drop, or how efficient?
How fast it goes down? Like
how much gas they lose? Like what does a jet get per gallon?
How does the jet get to the gallon? I don't fucking know, man. But I mean, they definitely gotta be efficient as fuck. But I mean,
I think you get like a couple hours.
I think with like
look it up real quick. How long? I want to know that. How long can a fighter jet fly for?
I think with the weight, you definitely want to keep. You don't want to keep fuel be able to go across the world or some shit.
Yeah, but and also with like the explosions and shit, right? But if you got a battle, you know what I mean. You're in the middle of the ocean. You got a battle.
Well, see, that's why, in order to give your planes the most advantage, you scramble them from an aircraft carrier, or you scramble them from, you get in there and you drop an Air Force
base. Get them right back.
Drop an Air
Send
Force
them back out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely.
For jet speed.
Definitely. You ever get planes in Civilization?
Yeah, they're
cool.
They're bad at. Like I said, you can go and you can drop you gotta have a plane to drop the nuke.
Right.
So you gotta build a specific bomber, and then you gotta go fly over there. And you can get aircraft carriers too. You can have like 2 planes. Because like the same
wow,
of course you can move your jet across there, but like they're not able to heal. The fucking thing allows you to come back and heal on the battleship.
I gotcha. That's awesome.
So you can like scramble them with some submarines and shit, bro. It's crazy shit, man.
It's an awesome game. It's like games that I've asked for basically. The only thing that I would say is like take that game, turn it to a first or a third person, and make it an Xbox game that you can play. That's like kind of like Assassin's Creed, but like way more in depth. Like Assassin's Creed does have something coming actually exactly like I'm asking for.
Well, see, I would like Assassin's Creed to do kind of what they do, but kind of like mix it with Division style. So like you're kind of like open world running through Division style.
Well, I showed you that thing though, Assassin's Creed Evolution. Remember?
Evolution, is that the new one coming out?
With the where you started as a monkey?
Oh, that's
Assassin's Creed.
Is it?
Yeah, that's their next game.
Oh, okay. See, I thought it was like one of those like
so it's called like Evolution or something like that. Yeah,
that's cool.
And you start as a Neanderthal or a monkey basically.
Yeah, I saw it. I watched the trailer.
And they said they were like, don't rush it. That's what they said. Like, don't rush to play the game. Like, just take your time. They made like hella shit for you to do as like an ape and shit like that. You know?
Oh man, it looks like I just want to see like. Because of course, like when you do progress, what's the end game then from there?
Well, I think it's like eventually you become us. Just like kind of in Civilization. Eventually, you're nuking shit. Something. I think I didn't see that.
See, I want
for me, I would love that. I want that exact game that they're doing. Go step by step like that, right? But I don't want to be forced to. What I'm saying, even if you made it to where after I beat the game, I could stay in a certain time because I want to be able to stop it. Like. Right. I told you, like Troy style, I love that area, that era of swords and shields, like armor, style. Right. I would love to be able to like play a game where you can. It's also a other game, but like you also get to stop in that time and do your battles like that, And then as it goes on, you're playing as an army. You got a gun now. You know what I'm saying? Like progress with how you fight other people.
I got you.
Like that ape, you're just gonna smash other apes. Like boom, boom, boom. And then eventually you're a Neanderthal. You're probably gonna carry around fucking a stone or something on a fucking stick of some type of sort to blunder people with.
Yeah, there's
I'm hoping like when you get to that bronze area, and just have mass wars, I want a game where you can have mass war. That's all I want. I want to have 500 versus 500 and be able to be on the front line. And we're just like, it's like 100 fucking like Deadliest Warrior. Yeah. But like a mass sim of it, like 100 samurais versus 100 Spartans, and you just choose who you want to be. You can load up 10 and 10 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean they have something like that, but like not everyone can play with everyone,
And you just charge.
Yeah. Not everyone can just play with everybody. Like they have games like that. Like they have like the like the battleground simulator where it's like you can put so many people up against another amount of people or whatever. But it's not multiplayer.
That's on PC.
You want multiplayer? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's on PC.
You want some
though.
console shit.
Yeah, I want
Which I
something
don't
that you
understand
can
why
play.
they do something like that. But I mean, like the console is harder, kind of
Yeah,
like
right.
too.
Because they have a hard time even with a 100-player battle
Look at all these
royale.
buttons. Look at all these
They have a
buttons you
hard time
got.
with a 100-player battle royale now.
Yeah. Plus, like it's easier to like aim and click.
So
with
they
a
would
mouse.
really have an easy time with anything else.
Right. Yeah. No, they would definitely have an easier time. But I mean, like, it's more efficient to use the mouse and keyboard when when you're doing shit on the computer. It's easier to control and it's more accurate. But like like with consoles, like it's just harder and whatever. We're taking a quick 5. But we want to thank y'all for watching and tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be back in it. You good, dog? Yeah. We're back here, man. Pulling a Rodney.
Going through some classical issues right there.
Yeah, classical. But yeah, you want to be able to move through that classical era and like the Renaissance and Industrial Revolution shit, type of shit like that. That's what you're going for.
Everything.
Evolve.
Yeah, exactly. You're at Civil War. You can fight
Yeah.
on the front lines of a Civil War. You're shooting cannons,
I mean, like,
samurai, whatever it is. Like I want to be able to
just-
progress through all ages of battle.
You want it to be single player though, because like
No,
something like that
I
with
wanna-
multiplayer would just be that's impossible.
No, of course you want your single player campaign, but you can do if they can do a 100-man battle royale, right? Just do 50 versus 50 then. If you can do 100, just do 50 versus 50. Those people are randomly, like you just go into just like you do in pub or Fortnite. You press the button and you get randomly simulated. Samurai, Spartan, whatever,
Okay,
right?
okay,
And
gotcha,
then
with
another
the
50,
multiplayer.
they get randomly fucking Vikings. And you just and then when you go to choosing kind of like you have a different ability from there, then like once that happens, then you would choose like out of 3 Vikings, right? Maybe have like a long distance guy, a brute or something like that. And, like, so you can mix up who's in there.
I got you. So, but I mean, like, because like the single player game, where you evolve through this shit. It's kind of like you're talking about like 2 different games almost. Like the second game is just like that's pretty much For Honor.
I'm
That's
talking
pretty
about
much
2 games
For
in
Honor,
one.
bro. It's pretty much For Honor, but like done better.
For Honor, bro.
Yeah,
is
For Honor is
nothing similar to that, bro.
That's the same as describing. Between fighting.
Hell no,
but hold up. Of course it lacks the amount of players you're talking about. But you have the Vikings, the Samurais, and you have
Dude, that thing lacks everything, bro.
and you have
fighting
the Knights.
For Honor fighting combat's one of the worst I've ever seen, bro. It's literally I hate that shit.
You didn't learn any of the combos
it's the
or anything.
same, but it's the same exact things of just like this is where you square. Like you can't angle something. You can't. The battle just wasn't hard enough for me. It's just like it's like a brute type of battle.
But like,
and then you play story mode or with 2
but listen.
players, you can't go anywhere. I can't even go fucking left or right. The game makes you go straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Then he goes
there's
3
different
steps
games,
to
but
the
I mean,
left. I go 3 steps to the right, and we meet back up.
Yeah,
So there's annoying shit
bro.
all
It's
the
not
time.
an exact comparison. I'm just saying, it's just like it's
That
pretty much
game
what you're going
sucks,
from,
bro.
with there. But that's the thing with
I'm not talking
games
about
like
sucking
that.
games.
Listen, with games like that, it's hard to pull shit off like that. Whereas like you have an open world single player game where like you evolve through shit in all the different eras, but then you also like then you have a single player game where like you have 100 versus 100. Now we're moving from just having 100 people in a battle royale to 100 versus 100, and then you have to have a game render all the animations and shit for all the fighting. The map has to be able to contain 100 people. I mean, it's just like
I get it, but I mean, we're also out here dropping nukes and gene editing, so it's like
but I mean,
you take
that's
some out of that fat ass
apples to
military
oranges.
budget,
apples to oranges,
and you put it in
because the
game
government
then.
doesn't fund games.
Fuck them. We want that game.
Yeah.
That game's awesome, dude. Fuck you.
If you just can't pull it off right now, man, something like that, you can't pull it off.
I think it could be pulled off.
200 people in a game
We need
fighting
a
each other.
joint. We need
just
a
like,
UN. We
I
need
mean,
a UN of,
for me,
gaming
I immediately
enterprises,
see
right?
myself running in and like just get dying from 25 people striking me at once.
Maybe, right? But we can fix it. Obviously, we'd have our kinks that we'd have to figure out.
Yeah,
but we have a good
it's an
path,
undertaking,
right? Let's just say
undertaking.
I gather all of the gaming enterprises from around the world. EA Sports.
You don't want those motherfuckers in
everyone.
there.
I want everyone. They got something. They got something I can use.
They're losing it.
EA's good, bro. You're crazy.
Nah, I don't know about that one anymore, man.
I think you're crazy,
They're
dog.
tough, man. I mean, they're the premier game when it comes to most sports games, but that's because there's really no other contender. They kind of have the license market on lock. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's a monopoly, you know. Whereas like
Fight Night Champion.
I mean, you could pick any one of those. You could pick, some here and there. Well, I mean, let's be real.
Greatest game ever made.
FIFA's like Pro Evolution Soccer's better as far as mechanically, made by Konami than
A
what
personal
FIFA
opinion.
is. But
I think FIFA's very clean.
That's a general consensus. But you've never played Pro Evolution, bro. That shit's
true.
really tight. But with that, they have like no licenses, whereas they have generic teams because they're not allowed to use the real teams.
Right, but you can go with the contrary and just say like MLB The Show, right? EA makes them, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like
that makes great, right? Then RBI baseball. That fucking sucks.
So I think baseball's simpler to simulate than something like football. Football's make more chaotic and where you have to have.
Then how come RBI baseball ain't even got a fucking playoff in it? You can't even trade players.
Yeah, but I mean I mean, like if Ubisoft went and made a baseball game, they could probably do a better job than some third party studio whoever made RBI. Like I remember like back then they used to have more football games, more basketball games. Like I remember you had NBA Live back in the day, and you had 2K, and they were kind of like competing, and then they had NFL 2K.
Listen, maybe it's not gonna make a better game, but I don't think EA makes horrible games.
I don't think so, but my whole problem with it is, with they go through with the minor lack of improvement, and then are going back to the microtransaction market.
Who is it? Name the game that isn't, Steve.
I mean, there's single player games out there, I mean, like games like PUBG. There's games like Rainbow Six Siege that are real big and competitive, and they have
the same thing. You still buy
but they have skins and then appearance. But it's different than when you have a game based on purchasing packs of cards to then make your ultimate team better, and then you have these specials every week. We have better cards come out of those players that you already have every week.
Yeah, but Steve, that's just a game mode. You don't have to play that, bro.
Yeah, but you don't see, so like with EA, you don't see improvements made to like the My Career thing where like you make your player. You don't see improvements to those parts of the games because that's where they're making their money.
Literally, I thought last year's the one where you had like Colt and
they had the journey. I thought
that was
but awesome. That's separate. That's the journey. It's cool. It's cool. It's fun. It's a neat little thing,
bro.
But again, once you complete that, how hard is it to then apply your game mechanics, have a little digital story, but then you have your same game mechanics where you have set up mini games to where you do that anyway. It's a story with some cool plot thrown in there, but then you go and try and create your character, and it's just like nothing. You just join a team and you start playing your matches and building your character up, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah, you can do more, but I mean sometimes they do more, and it's also clunky. Like 2K's been that,
like 2K exactly,
where you end up just repeating the same things over and over.
Exactly,
and over. Yeah, but I'll agree that like career mode, like as far as when you go to you make a player and season mode, basically. That sucks.
All I'm trying to get to is like I see it very blatantly, lack of development areas where you can't monetize actions versus something like Ultimate Team, where they're always adding more uniforms in.
Yeah, that's definitely true. They definitely focus on that, but
the legends and blah blah blah.
But I mean, at the same time, you got to be like, I mean, you can't blame them for trying to make the most money possible. That's the objective.
Yeah, but but you also get into shit where it's like you design it to be addictive. You design it to be addictive and to
and still selling like.
Yeah, because I think if it's addicted by it's like people of other countries have made it illegal to have those types of things in because they consider it gambling. I mean, it's like those same types of things where I don't think a 13-year-old or 12-year-old should be exposed to something like that. I mean, of course, you let whatever let an older guy do whatever, but but
it's one of those times where you go like, well, I mean, it's not on the kid. The kid doesn't have a credit card.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for going to make money, but I can criticize them for not developing other aspects of the game that they can't monetize and not putting out the best product that they can put out that they're already cashing in on.
That's true.
So
but they're also a game that has to come out every year, which is always tough. In my opinion.
But I mean, how many?
Then again, you're
advances
just uploading the same thing with new people.
So. About every 2 or 3 years, maybe 4, maybe even less than that, game engines are created and enhanced upon and are, not buggy. So, I mean, really, so you go through, FIFA and you have the same Frostbite engine you do for 3 years in a row with slightly better graphics, but that's because the Xbox is now able to render 4K resolution.
I
and
don't
whatnot.
think FIFA's bad though. I really don't. But like you said, I haven't played the other one. But I think FIFA, man,
Oh, I love FIFA.
lobbing
bro,
the ball, man.
I love
like,
FIFA.
they got
I
it down
love
pretty good.
FIFA. But I've played Pro Evolution, and I like the way it feels. It feels more fluid and smoother overall for me. I mean, that'll be debated anywhere you go.
Yeah, well, I used to always think NBA Live was better than 2K.
Yeah. I mean,
But like nowadays, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Now they've been out of the game for a while.
Yeah, but I remember like when they first came around, I was like, I bought Live.
I mean, that was a similar thing because 2K had locked down an exclusive license deal, I believe, so where NBA Live couldn't then use the likenesses of the NBA.
They're doing it
teams.
now, so
Yeah, exactly. So because I think that shit ran up, and they maybe signed like not an exclusive but just licensed deals with both of them. Because you can't do that.
Always argue
like
about it, yeah.
Like with FIFA, they made an exclusive deal with Juventus. So now in FIFA 20, they won't have Juventus in the team. It would just be Pimento Calcio or something like that.
Wow.
A generic team name with generic uniforms, and it looks very generic. And it breaks that illusion that you're kind of surrounding yourself with.
Yeah, but I mean,
I wouldn't say illusion, but
Terrell Owens wasn't in the game. Floyd Mayweather ain't in the boxing.
Yeah.
Speaking of the boxing thing, it's funny that I'm actually sitting there looking at articles today in this little gaming spot, and one of it comes across and it says "Fight Night Champion is too good to be forgotten." I'm like, oh, I gotta read this, bro. And I was just like showing you how they did it.
Yeah, man.
It was just a bunch of individual contracts that they did with each and every boxer.
Yeah,
and that's
tough.
the only way they got that done. And it's getting more and more tough.
Huge roster, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. But I mean, it's just it's a real bitch dealing with those, It sucks.
Like the guy was saying, he's like, the game's 10 years old. He's like, you hop online, there's still over 3,000 people playing every day.
That game's really solid. And it looks great. It's aged
up, bro.
Aged well, man.
I fiend for that game. Literally, every once in a while, I gotta square up, dog.
Yeah, honestly, I don't enjoy I like playing against other people, but like I won't go home and play it myself. I won't go home and make a career or anything, like that.
Telling you, dog, you do that career with everything up, bro.
I love playing that career FIFA shit.
It's fun. It's fun when you on anything. If you go into that game and you get beat up,
yeah,
you're like, why the fuck am I getting beat up? You're at least gonna want to get to the point where the computer don't beat your ass.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You're like, no, wait. Why am I getting knocked out in the first round?
I remember I had a Fight Night round 2, and you could be able to create your character, and like you'd start from like the underground fight scene. You're fighting underground boxing, and eventually you get signed, and like you start fighting in like different arenas, and eventually you climb all the way to the top to like the championship level, and you grow your person all the way. You can like set your training camps, and you can set your fights and how much money you wanted and all that shit. You remember that one, bro? Awesome. I think you remember that one. It wasn't champion. It was the one. It was either the one before that.
Round 3.
I think it was 2. Maybe 2. I don't know. It was early on.
Bro, apparently there's a little rumor. December 9th, UFC, Washington D.C.
Yeah,
Thinking we should catch that, bro.
That'd be solid, yo. That'd be cool as fuck.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it's so close too.
And I'm not even like that much into UFC, but like I would love to go and watch a UFC fight.
It's like just watch anybody, right? If I told
you, exactly.
If I told you I got 12 fights, I got 24 people that said they want to square up. You would just pay $50, right?
Yeah,
just to
right.
See, everybody loves watching fights. Everybody loves to see a fight. You don't see a fight and keep walking.
Exactly.
You watch the fight. There's something about that.
Yeah. We're making like it's only when you think when we break down, it's like what, $5 a fight, $4 or $5 a fight, exactly. Something like that. It's like, well, hell yeah, I'll sign up for that. But yeah, that'd be dope. Go catch that UFC down there. Who like is it set yet?
It's not even announced yet.
I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's how it was like.
And I know you're going there. You just be like, that's Frank Bulliard. He's a fucking killer. He's been fighting at the 145, but he moved up. And he's been killing it ever since, man.
He fights him, but this
he struggled.
Competition.
He struggled, yeah. I think he's looking for a title shot.
He looks real funny when he's standing up.
I call Frankie. But then they also got this guy, Ted Ersinger, man. He's a wrestler.
Dana likes him. We got pissed. Me and Tyler were kind of pissed off.
Signed him at the one fight.
We went to the Philly one. That's not one I haven't been to. And it was Justin Gaethje versus Edson Barboza. And it was like Bill just like
Gaethje's your boy, right?
I love Gaethje. Yeah. It's like Bill is like crazy, like it's gonna be a crazy matchup of just pain. It's supposed to be the fight of the year. Gator knocked out Barbosa in the first round. Like, it was fun. It was exciting. It was awesome.
You're just like, oh.
Yeah, but like, you're like, fuck, I wanted 5 rounds of battling, dog. I just wanted that pop out, just 2 guys going in
Like,
and
oh no,
out.
man, it might be split.
When people talk about like the best fights of all time, like, if you like that fucking Yoel Morero versus Whitaker, man, both of them fights, in my opinion, are like 2 top fights of like the generation. Definitely the Robbie and Rory fight, of course, but like for anybody, man, rewatch them Whitaker and Romero fights, man, because that's 2 fights where like you're like, how are these guys still going, dude?
Yeah,
especially in that first fight. Like, it's funny, in the first fight, first round, Whitaker, I believe it's Whitaker first. No, it's Romero first, I believe. Romero comes out, does a side kick to Whitaker's knee and blows it back, tears his ACL in the first round. And he fought 5 rounds with it, basically. So he had to get ACL surgery. Well, when they fought for the second time, Whitaker comes right out first round, kicks his knee back first, blows his ACL out.
So they both had to blow it.
Yeah, because they just didn't want to let it happen again. Whitaker's like, I ain't letting him get my ACL again. He just blows it out. That's like one of the debated striking abilities now in MMA is like that kick.
Yeah, I don't.
But they're like, you let somebody get kicked in the head.
Yeah, that's true. But that's also like a huge longevity problem, with like blowing someone's knees out, ACL.
That'd be an argument, right? ACL tear or brutal knockout. Which one would you choose?
Oh, ACL tear.
That's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, but I want to sustain another one. Most like, well, if I take care of it, but it's highly likely that he would sustain another one if he kept fighting. Same with concussions, but I mean, like, at least you can go 15 fights with a couple of concussions.
It's weird. Like, how do you look at just like on the outside looking in? How do you like look at like somebody won a fight? Like
somebody wanting to fight and someone going in UFC.
Like, what proves to you that someone won the fight?
Who proves to me that
2
someone won the
dudes fight for 15 minutes? How do you choose who won the fight? What matters to you?
What matters to me? I personally like how someone's fight. Like how someone fights, like the technique, kind of like their style. Is just something I enjoy watching. Just from the outside looking in, it's just like, is it fun? Is he a fun guy to watch? Does he look like
you want some entertainment?
Is he technical? Can I notice that even if I'm not the most keen on what exactly is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like you can always tell when someone's like really technical with it, rather than someone who's probably not as technical or less skilled in that area.
It's weird when a really technical guy meets up a really, really technical guy.
Yeah,
like Max Holloway versus Poirier. That's really what happened. Holloway's just great, but Poirier was like that tad bit better that day. It's like Poirier coming up with an extra 10 pounds. I'm gonna show you that it matters, brother.
That's another thing I really get confused about is when it's like people when they show up, it's like you never know how you're gonna feel on that particular day leading up to the fight and on fight night. But regardless, you gotta show up no matter how the fuck you feel. It's like you could wake up and be like, have the worst fucking migrine ever. You're just
that's what Cerrone said. He said that in an interview before. He's like, I usually know when I'm in the locker room before the fight. I usually know, like, is Cerrone here? What's he say? He's like, is Donald here or is Cowboy here?
Right.
That's what he says. He's like, when Cowboy comes out, I'll win fight.
See, that's one thing. It's like, it's tough to really say about yourself because, like, then you kind of also are acknowledging, like, that you might lose when you feel a certain way. You know what I mean?
But then look at GSP. I'm a fan of interviews, right? I look at what people say, and like GSP is like, I never was once not afraid. He's like, if you go out there and you say I'm not afraid to fight, you're going to be a guy that loses a fight. You're supposed to be afraid to fight. That's how you're a good fighter. He's like, I was so afraid to lose. You don't want to get beat up. It's as simple as that. You don't want to get beat up. So you train 10 times harder than that guy.
Yeah.
You work them 5 times harder in that round,
I mean, like, like regardless, like I said, like, you wake up and let's say you wake up and you just feel like fucking shit for some reason. You didn't sleep on or some shit,
I don't know why you did it, bro. I'm sorry. I love you, Cerrone, man.
Who do you fight?
He just got beat up by Ferguson, which it was a good fight, but Ferguson beat him up at the end there.
Yeah, he was bloody,
Now he
wasn't he?
signed for
First round knockout.
Now he's second.
Second.
Now he signed for Justin Gaethje, bro. September 7th or 14th, I believe.
Cowboy.
Cowboys fighting Justin Gaethje. Talk. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry, people don't like it, but Cerrone's going to sleep. I see, dog. I really do. It's gonna be tough. I don't think you can fight guys like that back to back. I think a champion fights guys like that, but Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje, you're a real champ.
Right, just going back to back with guys like that.
You're talking real killers, dude. Like guys, like there's something. I'm telling you, there's something like guys are psychotic. Like Justin Gaethje and Tony.
You got some
Ferguson,
crazy shit in their
they're
head.
Psychotic, bro. They really are. Like when I say like I don't think they're not afraid to fight, but like they find a calm in it.
Yeah,
I think they're afraid, but they really know how to just calm it down and get the job done.
I think there's something called like a warrior gene. And, some are more susceptible to the gene activating than like others, or maybe it doesn't activate in most people. But some people it does, whether it be from something that happened in their life, or I think some really kind of like triggers it, and it's just like past life too. Exactly.
That guy, that strong man, I forget his name. Sorry,
Robert Oberst.
Yeah, nice, bro. Oh no, Joe.
I like him.
Hey, but he said that one part where he was talking about that guy, that big warrior, that was in the Civil War or something like that, and he's like killing everybody. And like there's a quote from where he's like, well, I guess it's like a famous quote though. A warrior never goes to war full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You always go to war hungry.
Right.
And they said that like that works on hunting and shit like that too. Like you don't want to hunt full.
Yeah.
You want to be like, you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
It.
Yeah. I don't know. He said he doesn't eat before competitions. And so that's wild to me, strong man. So
well, he probably eats that morning.
Right, yeah, I feel you. What do you think about he also had talked about that the one vegan bodybuilder or whatever, and how pretty much
I didn't listen to this whole thing yet.
I didn't listen. Oh, you listened to the whole thing?
Like an hour.
Wait, he goes on. He talks about like he only knows that one vegan bodybuilder, and he is strong, but he's never been invited to the strongman competition. And he said the only way was to really get to some his size was just through pretty much eat meat and rice,
overeating.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. With GSP, he went up to 185. He got that colonitis. Same thing Brock Lesnar got. You just eat. They say
too much.
They say it's meat. I might be wrong, but they say when you just eat too much meat, it comes from when people are trying to pack on weight, and it just sits in your intestines for too long.
Yeah,
it ends up making leaking and shit like that.
It's fucking crazy, Well, I mean, no one should be eating 10. I don't think it's.
He said
healthy.
He smokes weed though.
I think it's healthy to be that big.
He was like, I look at all these other guys, and they're all on Vicodins. And he's like,
Vikings on Vicodin.
They won't, but they won't smoke some weed.
Is that the next cocaine cowboys?
Yeah, seriously.
Vicodin Vikings.
Though, which I would
Vicodin Vikings. Believe. Well, I mean, it flushes out your system relatively quick. So, and
yeah, I guess you could just wean off in that week.
Yeah, and I mean their competitions are scheduled to the T.
It's not random piss testing you.
Yeah, I think
USADA style. Show up at your house 7 a.m. and you got to piss.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I have no idea how that shit works. But I think it just flushes out your system 2 days, or maybe you wake up the next day, you piss a little bit, and you're good.
But
I don't know.
But what I want to say was for me, when I look at who won a fight, when people say oh, that's a hard fight, I always look at who was closer to finishing someone.
To get them
fought, and a lot of times I probably score fights wrong because of that. But that's the most important thing to me. Honestly, if say it's a 5-round fight, you whoop somebody's ass for 4 rounds, but in that 5th round, right, you whooped his ass, but you never dropped him, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You were never on the verge of finishing him. And then meanwhile, in the 5th round, he drops you twice, and gets you in mount, but can't finish you or something, pounds you away. Maybe I wouldn't give the fight to him, but I'm inclined. I'm scoring that way higher, in my opinion. Of when someone's on the verge of finishing someone, it gets me mad that they don't get. I thought the same thing about Nate Diaz Conner too, and I thought the same thing about Whitaker Romero too. Where if you look at it as a whole, you can make the argument for Whitaker and you can make the argument for Conner.
Right.
But when you think about it, Romero had Whitaker this close to death twice. Whitaker never had Romero like that at all. That's something to me.
Yeah, I don't go to that depth of it. I won't sit and be oh, that guy, he tried to take him down, 7 times, but only really secured 4 of them, and another guy, he had 9 total takedowns, but only really got like 5 of them. Or the other guy looked like he had better defense. I don't get too deep into that because I also don't know how the scoring necessarily works. But I do know, you get knocked down, from like a punch, kick, or whatever. That's definitely high. It's most likely that you won that fight, with that knockdown right there, that round.
Yeah,
My
definitely
bad.
that round. Yeah.
So I know shit like that, and I know takedowns are valuable. Sprawls are also valuable, as far as like, your defensive capabilities when, being pressed or, trying to, take down, shit like when you're like in the clinch, how you're maneuvering in the clinch and whatnot.
But like even on like a street fight, like straight up on a street fight, you're like, say somebody just like, say you're in a bathroom, right? A bathroom school fight.
Right,
and
right.
someone curls up on the corner and they just fucking curl up like this, and this guy hits him 100 times.
Right.
Not 100, but a bunch. And he just was like, takes enough and he fires back and he fucking cracks him.
Yeah.
And fucking drops him. You know what I mean? And he's on top of him, then people start pulling him off. I look at it like, yeah, that kid's probably hurting more, but something about that this close to killing you, kid. If nobody else was here, your ass would have been mine. We'd have figured it out. If we just met up in the jungle.
Did they let him? Did they let him stand up?
On what? Well, no, he's battling that. But I'm saying you're in a cage. There's certain shit like.
Yeah, I feel you in that. But like, let's say the guy does that. One of the 3 rounds, but like, the next 2 rounds, the guy pretty much out wrestles him or
yeah, it matters.
passes
sure.
around.
You don't want to see a boxer win 10 rounds, get dropped, and lose a fight.
Yeah, so I don't know all the technicalities when it comes down to fighting shit like that. So I go more off style. I guess you could use the word swagger, like how some people carry themselves. Like I do like Aljamain. I think he's a cool dude. I'm trying to think who else the other guy.
Yeah, Aljamain's definitely cool.
Yeah. I forgot his name. I totally forgot his name, but he was on one of Rogan's podcasts. I do like Cowboy too. He seemed like a cool guy.
Yeah, it's crazy that he just takes all them fights like that. Like they're just pretty much square up with anybody at any time. Like
yeah, which I mean, it's like
feel bad for him now. I'm like, Dana, bro, you gave him Tony, then you gave him Justin Gates. That's just crazy to me, Like I said, if you told me like a champ's fighting these 2 guys, I would take 10-1 odds that he loses one of them fights. That's
10-1 odds. Yeah.
That when people are that good. Frazier, Foreman, Ali, they all fight.
And
chances are they're going to go 1-1.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like you're going to win or you're going to lose one. Like usually to great guys. You're not just going to run through great guy after great guy after great guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why like some champions win 20 fights and they really don't. Not 20, 15 fights.
You probably pick up that one in between. It's like you're definitely fighting that guy like
a lower level.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy. Like Demetrius Johnson, like he won the most consecutive title fights, but no one cares. No one considers him the goat. Really, like because he didn't beat anybody up like that.
You're not gonna be like, for instance, just like number 12, given the 8 and the 4. And then then company gives you the 5 too. It's like,
exactly.
It's like, man, what are you doing?
Trying to take them easy ass fights, but
yeah, but I mean, I guess it's what he sees is best for his career, especially at this point with taking 2 losses. I mean, like, I also don't know how the payment, how people get paid when I know you get paid less for losing, right?
Yeah, you get a win bonus, which is double your money for most people. That's like a big thing that Justin Gaethje's against, because he's like an action fighter. So he's like, man, I just want a flat fee. And, he's like, I bring it every time. Because like they say they say that win bonus, is to encourage somebody to want to like win the fight. They're like, bro, nobody's in a fight and not trying to win it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Even if you're running from someone,
they're squaring up. They're fighting.
At the end of the day, you don't want to get knocked out.
You don't get knocked out, choked out. I hate the way being choked out feels.
Yeah, it's so like demoralizing.
Yeah, it really fucking sucks. I mean, it's like also it's like when you get locked in, it's like you could be killed. Whereas like you can break my arm, cool, but I won't die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
rip my shoulder out, but I won't die.
That was a cool thing with the guy Carl Robertson. He had been tapped out like 2 out of 3 times in his fights, and it's just like you can see how sick he is every time. Right. He fought like last week or the week before. Same guy got him in a fucking rear naked choke again, bro. And he's
Terrible
like, he's
feeling.
like this, yo. He's like about to tap out. And you can see like he thought about them nights where he was so sick from tapping out. And he just goes full fucking power and just spins out of a rear naked choke somehow, bro. And it's like, that's a guy that just was like, I've been here before. I gave up before. I'm not a quitter. You know, it's like I love that.
I kept him up at night. He was thinking about it. He was
Yeah,
like,
and
fuck
he's like,
that.
and then he went to sleep that night. And he was like, I spun out of that shit.
Especially like when people like, one thing I remember you telling me is like, when people hold it in for a certain amount of time, they think they're gonna tap, like they like loosen up a little bit because they think the ref's gonna step in and stop it. It could be like one of those moments where like it was really in, and he was just like,
his body actually twitched around.
It was like the last like little burst of oxygen came to his brain. He was just like,
it comes back,
came back alive, got the blood pumping again, got some more blood to his brain, done. But that'd be awesome to see.
More often.
That'd be really awesome to see someone just like kind of like spin out of that. That's sick. That's strong as fuck. Quick as
one
shit too.
Sport where them two like they act like they're like arm wrestling, but they just arm wrestle and tie each other up, and they just punch each other and kick each other with the
They kicks. They got to hold on.
Dude.
You got to hold on that.
They're tied together.
Tied together.
You don't hold on. They're tied together.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
You just keep going till somebody's done fighting, or you knock someone out or something.
There was another one where like people hold them to like this one handle, and they just throw punches and like dance around, like kind of like move around one side of the thing and throw kicks.
See, that would be weird to me though. It was like anytime I see a kill shot coming, I will let go of that handle. I'm not gonna let kill shot hit me. I'm not gonna let kill shot hit me. You know what I mean? You wouldn't knock.
But then you're probably not competing in that.
You wouldn't knock them out, so you tape those hands up together where they can't move. You can still do a little bit of lava, but you're taped together right here in the middle.
Wild, yo.
It was like, bro, you would be great at that. After seeing your Nebby fight, that's like one of the funniest memories of my life. These two guys both grab each other and just mass hits. Who can hit each other?
It's so funny when it was over though. It's over the fucking.
And nobody stops it, or the teacher doesn't even say nothing.
Teacher finally like stopped
that's right. Yeah,
Mr. Highsmith. Finally stopped it. Finally broke it up.
Yeah, after like 50 hits.
Yeah,
it's just like
that was cool. I get hit in the face. That's all I remember.
I think hit you in the face.
I don't remember getting hit in the face. I don't remember getting hit in the face at all.
For what I was just laughing so hard because to me it's just like literally like
yeah.
But you would know better than me.
Yeah. I have no idea. at this point. It's so far back.
Neb, where you at? Neb, find us. We want you on the show.
Come talk about it. Come talk to us.
Come home.
Come on out. Leave
I
the stoop.
I do want to go see what's up.
Yeah, I have no idea what's been going on with this kid. No idea. Zero clue.
Let's swing by his house one day.
Yeah, I just hope whatever.
Neb, do I gotta search your court records? Word, Neb.
Yeah, it'd be weird if he was listening but not answering us ever. Just like he's listening to us, just like in the darkness,
plotting on us.
Yeah. He keeps disliking them.
Or just her like, he's like an extremist now. He's the
disliker. Making accounts,
bro. Him, they logged into his other people's shit
and his sister's accounts, and it's like, whatever he is, come on out. We're looking for you.
We'll find you, Nebby.
We're looking for you. We'll put them in milk cartons, bro.
But regardless, you know what I still think is weird? The Olympics. I still think that's weird that like we're still trying to convince each other we're strong. It's like once we establish nukes, could we just?
Yeah, and especially at this point when like America and like China and the UK or whatever, Canada, we have the most gold medals every year. It's like, come on.
Well, I mean, just the fact of like everywhere that they build these things at, they just go to waste afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Billions of dollars wasted.
The only country to ever make money off the Olympics was America.
Really?
Yeah, they were the only country because they already had so many fucking stadiums here.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I remember like the '92 Olympics were in Atlanta. When I think about that, I was like, wow, and they made money off that shit.
Wow.
One of the only countries to do it, man. I mean, that's crazy. And like,
that is fun. That's funny.
Yeah, there was a Summer Olympics of '92 that were here. Yeah, but I mean, like Brazil, you get shit like that where you host the World Cup and you build 8 extra stadiums, and Qatar, where you're building 4 stadiums pretty much off slave labor. It's like shit like that. It's just like
what I learned was that Iran funds Yemen to fight Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia does the same thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
They fight each other through Yemen.
yeah, it's so weird. Like there's like all them countries over there. They
Yeah.
never agree to fight each other. They just always get someone else to fight it.
Yeah.
It's always like, look, we're paying you this much. You go fight it over there with these weapons.
And
But we can buy weapons from America.
yeah,
we'll get
and
some,
Saudi
then we
Arabia is
got you,
shipping
dog.
them over there. Yeah, exactly. You know, so I mean, it's
to
just
kill innocent people.
yeah. We're what is it? Accessories. You know, in the civil war in Yemen. I think the
War
Saudi
crimes
Arabians
are
backed the
scary,
rebels.
dude.
I
Talk
think they
about
backed the
crimes
rebels.
that went unreported. War crimes. How many? Just horrible shit have people seen.
Yeah, I mean,
Of,
it's
when they
like
burnt down villages.
I mean, I think everyone's seen the Lone Survivor movie. I
Yeah.
think everyone's seen that. Where it's like they chose to kill those people. You know, spoiler alert. They chose to kill them.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be a war crime, and most people probably would not have known
Right.
or ever figured it out.
Right. Or if they would have, hopefully you're already gone.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I imagine that
But they did have walkie-talkies. So people would have came looking for them.
that is true. Eventually, yeah.
They would have been on, but you would definitely have more time.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
like,
you could have took them with you.
and they're also
You
not-
could have hid them. You could
Yeah.
have threw the walkie-talkie and took them with you.
exactly. Just broke them.
And then killed them somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Take them up the mountain, kill them.
Man, that's a hard one, ain't it?
Yeah,
I can't remember
that's
what
a
you
tough
said.
one.
What do you do?
I definitely was with letting them go, but then you watch that shit and then you're just like I'll
Should've
probably kill
whacked
him.
'em.
I'll probably kill him. You know, it's
As
like
bad as it sounds,
I mean,
bro.
throwing myself down a mountain. I mean, it's just like yeah, it's
Because at that point, right, it's not America versus them. It's honestly like, man, I got a family. I got a
yeah.
family. I'm sorry that I'm even here. I'm sorry that this is where the universe has took us.
Got my boys think about.
Man,
It's
remember that one guy's like, I'll do it. There's always that one guy who's like, I'll do it.
yeah,
But
but
Foley. So I'm just like,
you also
turn
don't
around,
want
boys.
you also don't want like people out there just going around and just like killing people, and just like kind of just chalking it off,
and
but,
just finding like a reason, like, oh, they came up on us when really they ran up on them.
But then it's also like those guys. Let's say that they kill them. The mission is successful. They come home. We find out. Do you charge them with war crimes? Like I don't think so. It's tough. It's tough. I don't think you charge them.
It's a hard one. I mean, I think you just got to do investigations and try to figure out what the situation
Yeah, exactly.
was
Of course.
and do the best you
But
can.
let's say that particular one.
You remember that famous
kill
one,
him?
though?
Which
The one that Trump was pardoning or talking about pardoning?
the one.
It was a guy that apparently he knifed.
Yeah,
warrior.
he was found. I believe he was acquitted.
Well, that's because the guy that originally said it took it back.
Yeah,
And it was like he kept mixing it back and forth or
Yeah.
something. So something was funny there.
yeah, something's real funky there. I think some intimidation probably.
Yeah, I'm sure
Something
something.
like
Maybe
that,
a payoff for all we know.
Payoff. Yeah, also
Military budget
it's
might
like,
be
look,
for payoffs.
well, you can retire.
What's the whole military? What's 90% of military budget just for government payoffs? Stormy Daniels and shit.
Is being like disguised.
Yeah,
It's like just so they can label it top secret.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh.
and blacklisted.
Oh, would you look at that? We're on to you. We're on to you.
Say if you were the only country.
They're coming for us. Yeah, the choppers. The choppers are surrounding.
again.
The choppers surrounding us.
Imagine if you're the only country, right? You're the first country to find a nuke. What would you do with it?
The first country to find
Knowing
a
what
nuke.
you know now, like you think you would just. Well, people are still gonna learn about it, right? What if your allies are like, I want one?
Well, because I mean, it's like let's say at that moment, you of course you become stronger than every country, but you don't necessarily have the military like some other country does, and they're just like they come over and try and fuck you up, and you're just like, well, I got this fucking nuke, bitch.
Or if they all
Then
get
it's immediately
hurt-
out. It's
or if they
immediately
all
out.
hurry up and join up.
Or you just start going around. You're like, look,
God, nuke.
I like the coffee you got. I want to import it, but you don't get none of the taxes. And I get tax-free shit. Well, I'm gonna drop this nuke.
Yeah, tax free. That's
Or,
not too bad of a trade.
You got the best
At
herb,
least you're gonna
bro.
pay for it.
Yeah, you grow the best weed over here. I want it. Or I'm gonna nuke you.
Gas.
I want that gassy.
We want to be able to listen. There's
So
some
it's
things
getting out.
people want to
It's
do.
getting out.
I want to be able to place bets on sports, and we should definitely be able to smoke weed anywhere you want to. That's just is what it is.
Or-
Not anywhere you want to, obviously. I'm saying like in your own domain, shit like that. Now, of course, you can't go blow it down at the fucking health clinic.
Wherever you can smoke cigarettes, you can smoke weed.
There you go. You said
Right,
it.
how about that?
You said it.
Done.
You said it,
We
brother.
got a law.
I'll tell you what. I would love to have like a I would go to a bar where you could smoke. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be great? Yo, just
There's somewhere here in Maryland that's supposed to open something like that.
I thought it was Annapolis.
Soundgarden, the first
Oh,
medical
that's what it
marijuana
was.
lounge,
That's awesome.
right there in
Come
Canton.
on, bro. We're tired of that medic shit attached with that.
The what?
We don't want to hear that medic shit attached with that no more.
The medic
bro.
shit. Well, I mean, it's just the law.
We want to
right
hear
now.
recreational.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
okay?
coming. It's coming, bro.
Let the people smoke.
It's coming.
They can smoke whenever you say they can smoke cigarettes. That's when they can smoke weed.
Exactly. You know.
I don't see what the fuck. What the fuck is that?
People are literally like you go to the clinics, you get referred to a doctor by the clinic, who then does all your testing, and it just moves you on through. I mean, it's just like they want people to have cards, they want people to want to buy cards, and they want people to spend their fucking money buying weed.
Yeah.
So what do? You just push them the fuck through and give everyone a card. That's what's going on right now.
$200 a card too.
Exactly. So you're doubling up on your fucking money. $200 just for the application. Actually, that's if you get approved or not.
Right. That's
to
true.
apply $200.
That's true.
So from there, you get referred to a clinic by, your dispensary or whatever, and you get tested. They do a medical exam and then you get your fucking card.
How much would it cost you to clean up shit for a living?
I'm talking 6 figures. If I'm doing anything with shit,
$100,000.
Yeah, not like next to $100,000. I probably want to be like, I want to have great benefits. I want to have time off.
Okay, but $100,000 though. Is the salary?
150, probably 125-ish up there.
110.
Cleaning up
everything.
Cleaning up shit. Like, what
110.
capacity? It really matters. I don't want. I mean, like, because I don't want that to be diving in a wastewater tank where you're just diving in shit. Like full body shit.
I did watch that.
Full body shit diver.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, you wouldn't do that for 110.
I want to push up to 150 and 160 plus.
What if it comes with everything though? 110, free
everything.
everything.
I might have to do it. Yeah.
401. Yeah, because you're just like, I'll do her 5 years. Sounds bad actually, but I'll do it for 2 years. I'll save I'll save 150 grand.
You're paying me bread though.
It's
like, yeah. So I mean,
you don't want to do that. You don't want that forever.
You do not want to do that forever.
You could be a millionaire.
But I mean,
from
what I understand, those people don't smell anything. They just kind of just dive in. They're
still there, bro.
The things are sealed.
You got PTSD.
It takes a special person for that type of thing.
All right. What about if you just had to change old people's diapers all day long?
I mean, I'm definitely thinking maybe I want just because of me, I don't want to do that. Give me 75.
75 grand, whatever.
I mean, I'm just cleaning up old people. I mean, that's not bad. But I don't want to do that forever again. But I also don't want to sell myself short. But I'm just like.
So if I became a vegetable tomorrow, would you wipe my ass if I needed you to?
Got you, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Got you, bro. I'll be when you are.
What if I'm just let's
wiping need?
Let's just say you age gracefully. And I age horribly.
Thankfully. Hopefully.
Right? And we're both 70. And I'm just on my deathbed. I'm just like, Steve. I want some strange.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that? What's the strange?
Some strange.
I might pull the plug on you right there. Yeah, it's like,
Steve, I want some strange.
I would probably pull the plug and be like, look,
I'm ready to die, Steve.
He would want those to be his last words.
But I'm not too sad.
Right before he asked me to pull the plug, he said,
and my whole family's on their way up, and they see it as it's they're looking through the window as they're coming through the door, and I'm passing away.
They start crying.
What did he say, Steve? What did he say?
Let me get some strange.
He said that he loved his family.
Now I'm airing that shit out immediately. He wants some strange.
It's true.
I'll probably be exiled immediately.
What would you do? I mean, if that was your let's say your grandma asked you, she's like,
yes, if I'll give you some strange.
Let's say your grandma was she's just look, the last thing I want. Some strange.
The fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean, bro? What does that necessarily mean?
It's just random sex, basically. a sex with a stranger, basically.
It's so strange. I'm not piping my grandmother.
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, you want me to line somebody up?
Yeah. She's
I don't want to.
What about your friend Jeff?
I don't want to play any part in the piping of my grandmother.
What if your grandma
asked
you to find a friend to pipe her?
Oh, it's a tough one for me, bro.
This is the last thing I want.
It's a tough one for me, bro. I just sit up and say, anything for you, Grandmama. Anything for you, Grandmama.
Okay,
Yo, Jeff, get in here, Piper, yo. Like tearing up, man.
Get us all in a room one day. Like, can we all just be honest?
Yeah.
Who here got the smallest dick? Just say, hey, Grandma, I found someone.
My grandma pipes up. She's like, I want 8. I want 8.
I want 8 plus.
Yeah, I want a strange 8.
Grandma, what if you're like?
I'm gonna say, all right, which one of my friends hanging dick?
It's weird. It's always weird. Like, I always had a slutty sister. You know, so I always knew how it felt to have a slutty sister. You're just like, it's not a pleasant feeling. You know, you're just like, God, why me?
Well, see, it's fun. I've always just like completely separated myself from any type of thing dealing with that because
It's
like,
hard though.
well, like for me, it wasn't because I'm like, that's her. To me, it's just like that's her life. It's whatever, you know.
No, I'm saying like I remember like mad people trying to be like, oh yeah, I clap your sister, and you're just like, am I gonna fight everyone who tells me they're gonna clap my sister?
Exactly. I mean, exactly. You know, at some point, it's like I don't care, whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, once you want anybody, it's pretty much at that point. Like you gotta pack, you gotta at least pack back or something. Like, kind of fuck your mom.
I mean,
you know.
Yeah,
that's usually what I would go with. I'd be like, can I fuck your mom?
Well, yeah. I mean, if someone's throwing something like that at you, you know, of course, you know.
It's like all of them come out like, can I fuck you? Can I fuck you?
I'll throw fuck you. How about that? You know, how about that?
But yeah, on top of that,
fuck
you know,
your sister.
But it'd be one thing if like you had faith in your sister. You know, that's like my sister was like never had faith in her. I'm like, yeah, she spent enough time around here. You probably could. It sucks.
It's like it's
yeah, get away from me.
It's like you want to come back with a pack, man. It's just like good, man. Was that what I heard earlier? But then it's like after the 3rd or 4th time that happened, you must be like, well, whatever, bro. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, well,
shoot your shot, B.
it's one of, I guess it's one of those things when you hear it so much, you're kind of like, you gotta pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody's like, "Oh, fuck the shit out of your sister," you're like, "Okay, fighting time."
I'm gonna sneak his ass.
But like somebody comes up, they're like, "Yo, what's up with your sister?"
Yeah.
You're like, you know, okay, then you're like, "What's up with your mom?" You know,
yeah, exactly, you know?
or something like that. But they, of course, you know what they were like, bro, like,
or
thank
like
God.
Or
I honestly might have heard my mom have sex once.
I say, well, if they got
for the most part, I never dealt with.
What if they got a daughter, and you're just like, well, what about your daughter? What about your daughter?
Oh, now, bro, I'll fight you every time, bro. I almost want to fight you every time I see you, even if I like you. It's like,
don't come for my daughter, man.
I hate thinking about it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you come for my sister, bro. Anything's game. Come for that daughter. I'm shooting at your whole family, bro.
I don't know why. I know it sucks, but it's like I know it's sexist and everything, but it's just one of them things where it's like you don't want to think about another man with their daughter. Like you know how you don't think,
yeah.
You know how nasty your mind is, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
like,
to trust like someone else,
even if he is a good kid.
Yeah,
you're like, it's a good kid that has sex. Still has sex, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, you never know what goes on behind closed doors. So I mean, it's like in your face, it can seem really cool,
Maybe
but really,
right,
you know, beating her ass, shit, you know. So it's crazy. It's a crazy world.
Maybe that's why, like, maybe ego and pride was just a thing that got in the way before when they're like, you got to be married to get. Maybe that's why all of it was created, just because they're like, man, I'm so tired of people just clapping my daughter so early. Well, rather make a marriage, and then I choose the marriage, so I get to choose who claps my daughter.
Usually, you know, you would you know, unless you were like the brothel worker, you wouldn't be having multiple sexual partners. It was like if you weren't a virgin.
How weird would it be though? How weird? Well, it does happen. How weird is it when like your dad picks your spouse?
Arranged marriages.
But the weirdest thing is they're saying that he deserves to clap you. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
Your daughter's worthy of my son's dick. It's like you always expect to be more majestic. I'm just like, dick.
It's so weird. It's so, I guess I'm just like so sexist and biased because it's like, I don't know. Like, let's just think like you know how like you can fuck a woman, you know, like you can tear a woman up, right? Let's think about a girl tearing a guy up. Like, what's she gonna do the best possible? Like, she's gonna hop on his dick and just go wild.
Well,
All right, well,
for
either
one,
way, for the guy, you're like,
I'm making
I don't
love.
feel like a beta. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta get riding your dick, like.
You ain't a beta cuck.
Like if she just ride your dick like crazy, it was like, hey, you know, I feel great. You know?
It's great. You
So
know,
it's like,
awesome.
for me, I can't see
So-
it, but for a woman, she might feel like, oh, I tore that motherfucker up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like that's where it's kind of getting flipped nowadays.
yeah,
Where it's like,
so weird.
especially when we have like a lot more female rappers coming out, and they're just like, take you, man, fuck you, man. It's just like, and it's like,
I give him right back.
And for women, they'd be like, man, she really be putting it on my man. Hold up. It's just like, you know, so it's like it just hits different, you know. So it just hits different depending on who you are. What's weird, you know, what I think is funny is that, like, you know, women can listen to, like, you know, male rappers, but like men, you really can't. Like, a lot of men won't listen to female women rappers because
well,
it's just different. You
it's
just can't.
sexual shit a lot of times, you know. When
But like same thing with like men, where it's like, you know, I fuck bitches or whatever. You know, it's like they can kind of rock to that though. You know,
yeah,
it's weird.
I guess I do see
you
what
know?
you mean there.
Yeah,
but
it's like, especially when it's like, you know, it's like
there's
you know,
plenty of women I do like that rap though. I guess, but you like to consider them a rapper. That's always kind of funny. Like they might rap, but they sing.
I guess I'd be more towards the mainstream, you know, and even so, you know, for me personally, it's like when they throw in that, you know, a sexual lyric compared to the guy, it's just
But
different.
does a girl
you know?
not feel like that?
Exactly.
You know
That's
what I
what I'm saying.
mean?
That's what I'm trying to allude to. You know, it's like, you know, the girls, they do feel like that. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm putting to sleep. You know, it's like that type of shit.
Like, do you think there really is girls like they're talking to a girl?
Especially
like,
nowadays,
like,
like,
yeah, I fucked 10 guys last week.
not necessarily like that, but they'll be like, I sucked the soul out of his dick. You know, they'll say some shit like that.
What they're like? I sucked
You
the soul
know?
out of 5 dicks. I sucked the soul out of every dick I sucked last week.
I don't think they'll do anything like that. You know, I don't think so.
You don't think none of them say that?
They won't be
I just
saying
think
like
we're
that.
super
You know,
biased, bro.
I don't think they'll be
Listen,
open
but if
because
you-
because
but
it's
if
just shit. It's like kind
But
of
you
like
know how guys are. It's like if you would crack, we're both single males, you know, and you're like, oh, I cracked 3 bitches last week. Like, oh, what did you do? Like,
yeah, but I wasn't trying to say that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think women would tell. I mean, they might tell best friend, but they
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
be
what I'm saying,
out there
best
like that.
friend, yeah. No,
They
I'm
wouldn't
saying
be out there
friends
like
and stuff
that, being
like
like,
that.
you know, like dudes where it's like, you know, I caught neck or I ate 5 pussies this week or some shit. You know?
that's what you don't
like-
hear guys say.
Yeah, but I mean,
Right?
like,
because people consider that like the beta thing, right? They're like, oh, they don't want to admit that they ate a slut's
but
pussy.
but comparatively
They just-
speaking,
but they're comfortable saying that. Everyone's comfortable saying they smashed the neighborhood or the school slut,
But-
no one's comfortable saying they ate the school slut's pussy.
yeah, you're right,
You see
right.
what I'm saying?
I feel, yeah, no, I get you on that, bro. But like I said, like, you know, it's kind of like the way culturally the world is, where it's like it is, you know, kind of like men are celebrated for sleeping around, whereas women are not.
Yeah.
So I think that affects the social
But do you-
dynamic where
but
it's
I'm
like,
saying-
you know,
all I'm saying is,
they won't brag about
do
that.
women feel like that? Because I think a lot of women are like, yeah, oh yeah, I got him. Remember that dude we seen at the mall last week? Yeah, I fucked him.
They do
I
have
fucked him
that,
the
but
first
again,
night.
you know, again, that's
it
like
doesn't sound right coming from us, though, right? You're like, to us, you're just all over like, oh, we label that like, oh, that's a slut, that's a whore.
Yeah.
That, as bad as it sounds, like,
But I mean,
that's how we go. But that might be the combo, bro.
I think a
don't
lot
know.
of women
let us
also,
know.
I think a lot of women carry themselves in such a way where they're like, you know, I'm not a whore, I'm not a
Let's
slut,
say
you
if your
know.
friend's a whore. Well, I'm not even trying to use the word whore here, right?
Yeah.
We're just saying, like, as far as what it's considered in society, like a woman that sleeps with multiple men. That's what we're going off of. Well,
I mean,
you got
it's
a
generally
friend.
frowned upon. You know, I don't give a fuck.
You got a friend that caught 3 bodies last week. And you're just like, oh, how was his dick? Oh, what did you do with this? You know, like, then I feel like there's a conversation going on.
Yeah, but I
And
don't
it's not
think.
like, oh, this is 2 whores having a convo. I don't think you look at it like that, which is what we're doing. You
But
know?
I don't think they're like, you know, I've been on a nice Tinder streak. I found 3 good-looking dudes, and I fucked them all. You know, I don't think it's like that.
I think it happens.
I don't know, man. You know,
I think it happens, bro.
I don't know. I'm not in on those conversations, but you know, I just don't think just because of how it is culturally, where like, you know, it's frowned upon culturally. Like I said, I personally don't give a fuck what you do, but it's culturally frowned upon. So for them to kind of brag about that type of thing, it would kind of get around, and then they'd be labeled with such a term as slut or whore.
All right, so if you don't give
generally
a fuck,
they keep it, you know,
if you don't give a fuck,
versus
then
guys.
at what age can your son have sex?
I don't want him having sex till he's 18 or even older than that, or you know, I really don't. I mean, that's just honestly, you know what?
That's one of the
about.
classical things of like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I feel you on that, but I mean, that's just
Not
like,
gonna wait that long.
yeah, I get it, but
I guess people do, but
all you asked was, how long would I want it to
Right,
wait? And I'm
But
just
I was
saying,
trying to get, like-
18. You know, I mean, like I would want him to wait
you
that.
would want him
I
to
would want
wait
him to wait.
there. But I'm saying, like, what's a reasonable thing? You think it's 16?
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like you're I mean,
At that point,
you're at an age. I mean,
you're
even
ready to fuck.
14, 15, you know, it's like you're gonna fuck if you want to fuck. You know, you,
All right,
you
what
have that urge.
Same thing with your daughter, though? So she can fuck with 16?
I mean, you know, again, like, you know, for me, it would both be like 18. You know, that would be for me
You're
both.
just saying that, dude, because mainly...
I'm not saying that's just what I believe.
I
you
think
know,
I think that we're saying it. Okay, maybe you're not saying it because of this, but I think like it's a scapegoat of 18 because now they're an adult, you know, and it's like,
yeah, but I mean, it's like,
well, you can do what you want.
You've been, I mean, it's like you just like you want to keep posing like the hypothetical where it's like, you know, I don't, you know, I don't want. Of course, you know, a girl goes through the same thing guys do at that age where they want to have sex.
Yeah,
the same thing happens, you know, and if she gave into those types of things, I wouldn't necessarily blame her. I'd hope to educate her, you know, and inform both of them to want to wait,
right.
you know, to I mean, because you know, pregnancy for both people is terrible. I mean, it's even worse for the woman, you know, having.
I'd be way more for it. I'd be way more open if you like couldn't produce sperm till you're 18. You know what I mean? Isn't it weird that you can have a baby so young, Steve? Think about that. I never.
No, it's not. It's not because for sexual maturity, I mean, like. Again, humans are not supposed to be living past.
But now
you know,
we do. So
yeah, but that's
that,
not technically natural.
So
that's
do you
not technically natural.
So do you think like evolution's going to take us to where people get women get periods later in their life, or men produce sperm later? We have.
I don't think necessarily because
puberty.
I think you know a high percentage of birth conception happens in those ages between 16 to 21. I think it's a high percentage.
Two 12-year-olds can have a baby.
I think more kids are born in the younger brackets than the older brackets. So no, I don't think that's always going to kind of stay a consistent thing to where.
Why would nature make it that way, bro?
Well, again, because you know you'd only live. You will probably won't even live to 20.
Yeah, so you just gotta grow, fuck. It actually took a while back in the day, huh?
Exactly,
like 8.
Yeah, and then you know
the oldest person's 13.
And then in this day and age, to where it's like you know you have to kind of pay for it yourself, so you want to wait as long as possible. Like you know, I mean, there's definitely you know things involved, you know, where you can kind of like you know have birth control, but you know even for me, you know, birth control, implanting it some type of like hormonal blocker or anything of the sort in a woman to do that, I think that just throws off your body chemistry a lot. I don't think it's good for you. So that's why I would say to wait. You know, like same thing with you know dudes where it's like you don't want to incur these types of pregnancies because you know for me I'd be like, well, you know, you're gonna have to make right by this kid now. You know,
what if your son was 15? You know? He's like, I want a vasectomy.
Can you restore vasectomies? But I mean, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Let's just say if you could.
No, because same thing.
Gotta be 18.
Same thing for me. You know, it's like I don't want you doing things like that at that young of an age when it can affect you. You know, in the long term. I mean,
it's like I don't want
them. I mean, I'm not gonna assist you helping you mutilate yourself until you can go out and do it yourself. You know, it was like,
and he snips off his own. But on that,
I don't think he's gonna do his own vasectomy. But
that's another one.
I don't think he's gonna do his own.
It was a joke on the abortion play. Great cast, Steve. Another one in the gutter there.
Oh shit!
Well, I guess the gutter ain't the right word, right?
No, because it's
the gutter of greatness.
No, we're putting it on display on the shelf of greatness.
Listen,
you know,
you could probably find us in the Vatican in a few years. One of the things that's gone down here.
I'd like to end it off on a note. I read a joke on Reddit earlier. It was
You read a joke on Reddit?
Yeah. Right. So it was a good one though. I gotta share it though. If Americans are storming Area 51, Europeans should storm the Vatican. We get the aliens, and they can get the predators.
There we go. He's here all week.
On that note.
He's here all week.
On that note, good night.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Like, share, and subscribe. Good night, all. Oh shit.